This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching or participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Wednesday night, a special Wednesday edition, February the 9th, 2021. Joining me, as usual, in the upper left-hand portion, if you're looking at the screen the way I am, coming to you live from the heart of liberal bastion land in the center part of our state, Center County. Makes sense that the center part of the state is in Center County. The non-genetically proven son. How you doing, son?
I'm doing great. We get to go back to in-person classes next week.
So they say.
For a week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
like Tuesday they'll say, no, not doing it.
Yep. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, because the classes that are in my major and minor are the ones that are in person. So, sitting here trying to learn production skills is not the easiest.
Really?
I mean, photography's fine because I have a camera. So, realistically, you don't need to do that in person, but I like the professor. So
You're not taking nudes, are you? It's like not a nude photography course, is it?
It could be a porn photography course,
Okay.
Probably make good money in that.
Sure. Sure. All of a sudden, you're going to be a photographer for Hustler. You're going to call me one day. Dad, I work for Hustler.
Oh, why would I call you? I'm taking pictures of you.
Why not? So, anyway, I got a buzz cut. Long overdue. So, working from home for the past almost now 11 months, you get to watch some TV a lot. And other than watching The Price is Right, I've been watching, of course, Impeachment 2.0. Because what the hell else is on during the afternoon? Not much.
You watch C-SPAN.
I'm not going to watch like Days of Our Lives and As the World Turns and General Hospital, or if any of them are still on. Those are the things my mother watched when I was a youngin.
Daytime TV.
Yeah. So, I will say, if you are on the side that you do not like former President Trump, and if you're actually listening to the case that the House impeachment managers are putting on, they're actually making a pretty good argument for it. Now, the defense side hasn't had their turn yet. Listening to yesterday, the opening arguments were, is this constitutional? So the senators had to vote on if this was constitutional. Because the Constitution is very vague on impeachment. Because typically impeachment is for somebody who is in office. There has been precedent set in the past that people who have resigned from office still were impeached. Yes, I know. Richard Nixon was not one of them. The Senate did not go to a trial after he resigned. But they could have. So now the question is, can they do it to a person who is a private citizen? And the Senate, which you knew was going to happen, voted yes, they can. They voted 56-44. 6 Republicans voted yes, they can. And you could pretty much guess who 4 of them were.
Mittens Romney,
Murkowski, Collins, and Toomey. The other was Sass and the one guy from Louisiana, not Kennedy, the other guy. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think most Republican senators are smart enough to know that, they could stick their finger in their mouth, get some saliva, see which way the political winds are blowing, and know that to Republicans, former President Trump is still popular. And to vote against him, or to vote for impeaching him, isn't going to sit well with the people who they need to get reelected. Now, those with an ego, Mittens Romney, he doesn't care. People in the great state of Utah, let's get him the fuck out of the Senate. Let's just say that. He's a rhino. He needs to be gone. Murkowski, we had her gone. And the great people of Alaska let her back in. Susan Collins somehow hangs on every election. I don't have a problem with Susan Collins because she normally sides with Republicans. Toomey, he's an idiot. Turned out to be a really big idiot, but he's not running for re-election. If he was running for re-election, I guarantee you he'd be voting no, not yes. And I don't know if they're going to pick up anybody else. I don't know if Ben Sass, how he'll vote. I don't know how the guy from Louisiana. If they all voted yes, they would still have to pick up another 11 Republicans. Because, of course, all the Democrats are going to vote yes, even Joe Manchin. Now, if it came down to it that Joe Manchin was the deciding vote, then it would be interesting how he would vote. Because let's face it, he comes from West Virginia. And somehow, as a Democrat, he keeps getting elected to the Senate in a state that is deep, deep, deep red. Don't know how he keeps it up. But he does. So it'd be interesting to see how he would vote. By the way, message board is live and operational. As always, should you wish to chime in, let me know what your feelings are. But anyway, personally, I think this is a complete waste of time. Non-genetically proven son. Do you have any opinions on this?
Well, as far as I know, it's a predetermined outcome. Because of what you said, 11 people are not going to change their mind. Literally impossible. Of
Yes.
all things that they need to be arguing right about now in the Senate and the House, that is not it.
Yes.
Last I checked, they said the stimulus, first day. It's been how many days? 20? 20. They haven't done it. Haven't even started to.
Well, the Senate did break a 50-50 tie on their first vote for it. With Kamala breaking the tie.
Okay. It was 2,000. Now it's 1,400.
Yeah, and we could talk about that in a little bit, but let's stay with impeachment here. I mean, so you think it's as big of a waste of time as I do?
Pretty much, because it's just not going to happen. Like, you can argue all you want.
Right. I mean, let's face it. A congressman's first priority, congressman, congresswoman, I'm sorry, don't mean to be politically incorrect here. A congressman or congresswoman's first priority, even though that shouldn't be their priority, but their priority is their political survival. If Donald Trump had a 10% approval rating amongst Republicans, they would all vote yes. But he doesn't. He's got, I think it's somewhere in the mid-70s, approval rating amongst Republicans still. Political survival says, well, I'm going to vote no. Because if I vote yes, the chances of me getting my ass primaried are pretty good. Except for Mittens Romney, because he thinks, he's got a head about, as big as my butt. That's a
We
big
all
head.
know it's a wide one.
That's a big head. Go back to our Christmas episode. But anyway, personally, honestly, I don't think Trump is going to run again in 2024 anyway. Why the hell would he want to put himself through that again?
Okay. So who do you think is going to run?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to run.
Well, obviously, a lot of people are going to run. Kanye West is probably going to run.
Candace Owens is thinking about it. What's his name? Governor of Florida. He's going to run. My old buddy John Kasich is probably going to run. And all of a sudden, CNN will hate him again. And I want to announce tonight, I am forming my own exploratory committee to run for president of the United States.
Okay.
I'm very good at promising stuff that I can't deliver on. I'm very good at that.
So you're a Democrat?
No, I'm a politician.
You're a politician.
I'm a politician. Friends that know me have told me from time and time, why aren't you in politics? Well, maybe I should form my own exploratory committee about running for president of the United States.
Run for representative.
No.
Start smaller. You could win representative.
No.
You don't have the money to advertise there, buddy.
I'll sell my body. I'll raise billions.
Sell my body.
I'll raise billions. Okay. You're going to be a photographer. You can take good pictures.
Okay.
So what will my platform be? It's very simple. It comes down to one thing. And one thing only. Free beer.
I like that idea.
That's it. Free beer. The government will pay for your beer. Whether it be alcoholic or birch or root.
I like that idea.
We'll pay for your beer. You think I could win the presidency? Only promising that.
No.
The government will pay for your beer. I bet you I could get a lot of votes for that.
I don't know about 70 million.
There's a lot of beer drinkers in this country.
I don't know if that's their only priority is getting free beer.
How much does the average beer drinker spend a year on beer? Probably more than the $1,400 stimulus check that the government is thinking about giving you.
I'd say probably between 3,000 and 4,000.
There you go.
Figure a dozen cans is what, $10?
There you go.
Give or take. Let's just say you do a dozen cans a week.
Yeah.
You know.
That's better than any tax break I could give. Better than any stimulus. Free beer. Free beer. And if I do win, and then I get elected for a second term, free hookers. Free beer on the first term, free hookers on the second term.
Is it not illegal?
Well, we're going to legalize prostitution.
They're going to legalize
Prostitution should be legalized because it's a form of taxation. You can tax the living hell out of it. And then I don't have to sneak women into my house.
Mm. Got it.
Don't have to, pay him laundered cash. So there you go. I'm forming my own exploratory committee on the whole platform of free beer. And by the way, I'm not talking about Coors Light. Talking about the good stuff.
Natural Light.
Talking about the good stuff. Not Coors Light.
What's the good stuff?
White birch beer.
That's
the good stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big beer drinker. Tens of millions of people are. You got to tell me what the good stuff is.
Yeah, I like Reds.
And I'll make sure it's free.
Reds.
Free beer. And that's just not one day of the week. That's every day of the week. Every day that ends in the letter Y. Free beer. Every month of the year, not just the months that spell my name.
I know how you could win.
Did you know the months spell my name? July, August, September, October, November. JASON.
You know how to see now. You gotta appeal to the people between 18 and 21. So make legalized drinking age 18. There's no reason why you can't drink and go to war. Basically,
that's day one. I'm gonna sign I'm gonna sign 2 executive orders on day 1. Lower the drinking age to 18. I'm going to reinitiate the pipeline.
I like that.
And maybe on day 2 I'll lower the price of Mary Jane.
Lower the price of gas too, please.
Well, that'll get lowered because it'll be our own oil going through the pipeline.
Because gas all of a sudden went up.
We're going to America first on oil. America first. America. So, what do you guys think? Do I have a chance if my platform is all around free beer? Anybody want to say anything? Do you guys realize that you can send me messages through this message board that's right here?
See, the problem is you could associate beer drinking with the South.
Okay.
So the problem is you have to figure out, because just because you have an R next to your name, the whole South is voting for you. It doesn't matter. They don't care. You have to figure out a win-win. Pennsylvania, Florida, and Wisconsin, and Michigan. Then you win. That's how you win the presidency.
Well, I'm going to win Wisconsin with free beer.
Why?
Really? Beer and brats. Come on. Beer and brats. How many beer drinkers do you think are in Pennsylvania? I got Pennsylvania sewn up.
Oh, sewn up. Yeah, okay. Okay.
If I really wanted to carry the Southern vote, I'd just give them all free tickets to NASCAR.
You got how are you carrying the Florida vote? The old people.
They like beer.
Yeah.
They like beer and anything that's free. Name me one old person that doesn't like something that's free. If I really have to, I'll give them a free bingo night. And your next number, under the letter O, 66. 66.
All right.
Straight bingo, 4 corners. Inside 4 corners.
You're talking about the pipeline. That's what you're going into, I think.
I'm on the bingo right now.
You're on the bingo.
I'm on the bingo. Giving old people bingo. Somebody tell me what you think of my beer platform. All right. So, as I just said, I'll reinitiate the pipeline to give all these jobs back to Americans. As the White House press secretary says, I'm going to circle back. I'm going to give all these jobs back to Americans. Now, we've talked about this on this show before. So Biden on day 1 eliminates the pipeline. Now, first off, there's already a pipeline that's in America. They're just not building any more. So, like, what are they going to do? For those of you that live in the county that I'm from, it's going to be like the old road to nowhere before they built it. It's just going to end by the Berkshire Mall. Like it did 30 years ago. They're going to put a cap on the pipeline near Kalamazoo, Michigan, and that's going to be the end of it. I guess. Until we have me as president. Then I'll open up that cap.
Or anybody else that has a brain.
If I only had a brain. So anyway, just because he's stopping the pipeline doesn't mean that the oil is going to stop flowing from Canada to the United States. It's going to continue. It flows right now. As I said, there's other pipelines, but that's not the number one way it gets from Canada to the United States. There's another way it gets from Canada to the United States. Non-genetically proven sun. What's the main way that oil gets from Canada to the United States right now?
Train.
Rail car. Rail car. What pulls rail cars? It's not like the Gravity Railroad in northeastern Pennsylvania back in the day. What pulls rail cars?
A train engine.
An engine, a locomotive. What do these locomotives run on?
Diesel fuel.
Diesel fuel. Wow, you're pretty smart. You're pretty smart.
And it's dirty.
Yeah, I didn't know diesel fuel was cleaner than putting oil through a pipeline. So why does Biden do this then? He's supposedly the environmental friendly. He's stopping the pipeline to soothe all the environmentalists. But yet we're going to keep on transporting oil using diesel locomotives, which is probably 40 times worse for the atmosphere than a pipeline. Probably 100 times worse. So why are they doing that? Interesting. Why are they doing that? Anybody happen to look at who owns the rail lines? Anybody happen to look at who owns the freight cars? Who owns the freight lines? Freight lines are partially owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Oh, didn't know that one, did you? Who's the famous guy who's Berkshire Hathaway? Warren Buffett. Oh, whoops. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Interesting. Yes, he's got to become a gazillionaire to a gazillionaire and a half. Because dirty locomotive engines got to carry that oil from Canada to the United States. Warren Buffett. Wonder who else? Wonder if George Soros owns a share of these rail cars or these rail lines. Because it's not about the environment. It's about the dollars. It's not about the free beer that I'm going to give away. It's about the dollars. Again, nobody wants to say anything. Guys, this show sucks when you don't say anything. I hate that I got to keep talking. Say something. So anyway, I don't want to stay online on the air too much tonight. I wanted to take it no more than 45 minutes. So last Sunday, there was a sporting event.
Oh, I have one more thing that's politics related.
Go ahead.
I read on Facebook, I'm sure just about everybody else has, there is a woman that's going to sue Gorilla Glue.
I did see this.
Do we all know why? Bueller?
I know why.
Bueller? She ran out of hairspray and thought it would keep her hair down, so she put glue in her hair. And Gorilla Glue had to tweet out that their product is not meant for their hair. And she's suing them over because it didn't say it wasn't meant for hair on their bottle. Why are people so stupid? I'm going to put glue in my hair. It sounds like something like a 3-year-old would do.
Did it work?
No. She went to the hospital and now she's bald. They shaved it all off.
Well, now she doesn't have to worry about keeping her hair down, so it worked.
There is no hair now to keep down. Yeah, it worked. It kept the hair down.
Hello,
It's literally something like I'd expect like a 2-year-old to do.
Yeah. Well, she probably has the mental capacity of a 2-year-old.
Like, oh my god. Okay.
Do we know how old this person was?
She was an adult.
Do we know how old she was?
No, but she was over 20, I believe.
Is she in her 20s? Because that would explain everything.
I don't remember.
Well, why don't you look it up quick? Because she's in her 20s, that would explain anything, because that means she's a millennial. You know, millennials, all I gotta say is Tide Pods. Is there a warning label on Tide Pods now not to eat them? There probably is.
Probably.
Maybe, don't drink gasoline. You know, there's probably a warning label on that. You know. But you know what doesn't have a warning label? Crack. Come on, did you find it yet?
No.
Do. I'll give you 10 more seconds.
She's 40.
Oh, never mind then. She's not a millennial. She's just stupid. I saw a picture of her. She looks kind of stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. So, there was a game played this past Sunday.
There was a lot of games played. I had a really fun day that day because every sports was done in the morning.
I believe the Flyers beat the Capitals that day.
You know what? Shut up.
Well, anyway, we here at Phatts TV want to congratulate the Kansas City Chiefs on being 2-time Super Bowl champions.
Oh, just kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh.
I am personally congratulating the Kansas City Chiefs on their back-to-back Super Bowl titles.
Oh.
So you guys may think the final score was 31-9 Tampa Bay. And that's what it was as of Sunday night.
Oh. They found
Last night, overnight, they found 4 more touchdowns for Kansas City. Just sitting in somebody's trunk somewhere.
They found those flags and they made them on Tampa
instead. They found these 4 touchdowns sitting in somebody's trunk outside of Best Western in Santa Fe, New Mexico. They were just there in an old Pontiac Tempest. And now Kansas City has won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Got it.
Yeah. Yep. 4 touchdowns. They found the Al Bundy. 4 touchdowns. But anyway, we would like to congratulate Tom Brady for his 7th Super Bowl title. He has more Super Bowls than any other franchise.
That he does. He's just as many Super Bowls in the NFC as Aaron Rodgers.
That he does.
And Aaron Rodgers has been playing the NFC his whole career.
He has just as many Super Bowls as the whole Philadelphia Eagles organization. And they've been in the NFC quite longer than Aaron Rodgers.
They have been.
Oh, we like to take cracks at the Eagles. What can I say?
So now Kansas City is not making the playoffs next year.
Usually that's how it works.
The problem is their division kind of stinks.
Yeah, their division kind of sucks.
But
that's usually how it works. The team that loses the Super Bowl typically does not make the playoffs the following year. Who lost last year? The 49ers. Did they make the playoffs? No. Who lost the year before? The LA Rams, did they make the playoffs? No. Who lost the year before? The Atlanta Falcons, did they make the playoffs? No. Now that rule works unless if you're the New England Patriots. Or you're Tom Brady.
So all Kansas City needs to do is get Tom Brady and they'll win the Super Bowl.
That'll do it.
Because something I was watching the next day, I was watching Sports Center because there was nothing else on. Tampa, now you can't do this in the NFL. You can do this in a lot of other sports. Buy a championship. You could do this in soccer. You could do this in hockey, sort of. You could do this in baseball, sort of. But you cannot do it in the NFL. You just can't.
You could certainly do it in basketball.
And basketball. But Tampa just bought a Super Bowl, basically. They're like, hey, come here, Tom Brady. Oh, I'm going to bring Gronk, too.
They got him out of retirement.
Brady's like, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl down here. He's like, oh, whatever.
I just hope when Tom Brady is in his 70s, he'll agree to play for the Jets. Because he'll probably still be winning championships.
Like
what?
It's 2065. Tom Brady won his 30th Super Bowl.
Hopefully with the New York Jets. So anyway, going back over our plays that we made right here last Thursday, Tampa Bay was getting 3.5 back then. Some books had it 3, some books had it 3.5. I believe we officially used 3.5. And I believe the over-under line that we used was 56.
Yes.
So, do you remember what you took, non-genetically proven son?
I took Tampa Bay and the under.
You took Tampa Bay and the under. And you said the final score was going to be
24-22 Tampa.
Tampa. So you actually predicted Tampa Bay was going to win the game.
I did.
And you picked under.
I did.
Mr. Prognostication here. Very good. I had the final score 35-33. Tampa Bay.
Kansas City probably could have had that many points.
Could have.
If their line decided to play.
Could have. Well, that was the big thing in that game. With their injuries on their offensive line, Mahomes had no time.
I mean, that was just their tackles.
And
where's their...
Hold on. So I went 1-1 because I had the over. And the under cashed. So the non-genetically proven son went 2-0 with a money line victory on Tampa Bay. I went 1-1 with a money line victory on Tampa Bay. Money line was like plus 145. For those of you that don't know what that means, you bet 100 to win 145.
I probably could have got decent odds on Tampa Bay in the under.
In a parlay? Well, no. If you took money line, yeah. If you took it with the points, you would have got the standard 2.5 to 1.
On FanDuel, you could take Tampa Bay to win the game and under.
Yeah,
no idea what the odds would have been.
But we don't talk about FanDuel here because that's not the place that we use for odds. We have a sponsorship with Barstool. We can't talk about FanDuel.
I'm sure on Barstool you could do it too.
Yes, so we talk about Barstool. By the way, now that their betting site is linked with the My Choice cards that Penn National Gaming has, I was looking around their mall today, and I almost bought you a shirt. Which would have been free, because I got like a ton of comp stuff through there. Almost bought you a shirt, which I know you would have liked. I know you would have liked it. I thought about getting me one too, but I know you would have liked it more. It came in gray and it came in red, so I would have gotten the gray. And all it said was, one bite, everybody knows the rules.
That would be funny.
I know you would have liked it. And it did have a slice of pizza on it, too.
I was watching him do a pizza review yesterday.
We're talking about Dave Portnoy, by the way.
I was watching him do a pizza review up here at some of the pizza places up here.
In State College, really?
Yeah, he was here for the whiteout last year against Michigan.
Oh, so these were taped. He wasn't up there again. Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of remember that. Because he met with Barstool Penn State. Because they had the big thing with that lady that's in charge of the area of your major.
Yeah, because she was like coming at him.
Yes. Yes. So we also made some prop bets.
No, we did.
Unfortunately, we made some prop bets.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
I started off very well, by the way. I started off very, very good. So let's go over some of the prop bets that we had. I have to log into my account because I didn't write mine down. I wrote yours down.
I gotta put in. I could tell you my actual prop bets I took during the game as well. If anybody would like to know those.
All right. So your prop bets, in the order at which you gave them to me. Your number one was under 799.5 total yards. Cha-ching! There was 690 total yards. Surprisingly, Kansas City had 10 more yards than Tampa Bay did. Surprisingly. You had the largest lead of the game under 14.5. Loser! Obviously, the final score being 22. You had over in the number of sacks at 4.5. Oh, you were so close.
If Mahomes just wasn't athletic enough, he would have been sacked by about 8 times.
So close.
He should have got. I still think when you're halfway being sacked and you throw it, it's a sack. Like you're just throwing it so you don't get sacked. That's a sack.
They had 4 sacks in the game.
Yeah,
So
1 on Tom Brady, 3 on Mahomes.
You had Mahomes over 28.5 completions. He had 26. 26 for 49, I believe
Yeah,
he went.
he had 49 attempts.
26 completions.
Way to go. You suck.
You had yes on a 2-point conversion. There wasn't even one attempted. There would have been, I think, if Kansas City scored the touchdown like with a minute to go in the game, which I could have used, by the way. You had Chris Godwin to score and Tampa Bay to win.
I don't even know if he touched the ball.
That was your... We had to make a bet that was at least plus 200, a long shot bet. And that was your long shot bet. And Chris Godwin had 2 catches for 9 yards.
Glad he got targeted.
He had a long of 8. So his other catch was for 1.
Glad he was targeted in the game.
You could have got a lot of money for Gronk to score 2 touchdowns in that game. Could have made a lot of money.
He should have been MVP. On God.
And you had total penalty yards at over 99.5. I think you had that by the end of the first half.
Yeah, Kansas City had over that. And I had that bet in real life, too. But it was only 80.5.
Wow.
And yeah, I know. It was kind of low. It's very similar odds as well. It was minus like 130.
Actually, here was minus 112.
I have 135 on that, on the 80.5.
Okay. So you went 2 and 5.
Yeah, no good. And then, wait. Got the real life ones. I also took Mahomes to have 28.5 completions in real life. I took Tom Brady to have over 36.5 attempts, figuring he would throw the ball a lot more in the second half.
Didn't have that.
Kansas City was going to make a charge.
He had 29.
And he had 20, I think, at halftime.
Well, they were winning the game.
Yeah. And then I had Travis Kelce, who had a very good game. He had 120 yards, give or take, just to score a touchdown at any time.
Oops. Well, considering Kansas City scored no touchdowns in the game.
I figured, at halftime, he's the one catching the ball right now. They're going to score a couple touchdowns and make a game out of this.
Yeah, you would have thought.
No.
Yeah,
I really did.
He had 10 receptions for 133 yards.
So he had a good game.
Well, wait a minute. Was one of those touchdowns that they found in Santa Fe in the back of the Pontiac Tempest? Did Kelsey catch one of them?
Probably.
Okay, well, there
He
you
was
go.
like the only one that Mahomes could complete a pass to.
So that means you won 2 more, because that means Patrick Mahomes had at least, well, we'll say all of them were touchdown passes, so you would have got your completions.
And I probably would have got my attempts out of Brady if it was closer.
Probably. Oh, especially
'Cause he
Kansas
threw
City
the
was
ball
winning.
actually a lot. In the first half, he threw
Yeah.
the ball a lot.
He did. Did you play anything else?
That is all I played live.
Okay. So let's look at what I did. And I started out fan-freaking-tastic. Fantastic. My first bet went cha-ching. There will be no score in the first 6 minutes of the game. At plus, I was getting plus money on that. Where are you? I'm pretty far down here. I'm really far down.
Just shows how much you bet.
No, it shows how little I bet these days. Because I scrolled halfway down the page and I was back to like November.
What?
That was the penalty. Kansas City under 10 penalties. Coaches challenges. It's up here. Nope. It's got to be this one. Nope. Got to be this one. Ah, there it is. Plus 115. Then, if you recall, I made 2 bets on the first accepted penalty. I bet offsides at plus 450. And I bet false start at plus 425, I think it was. It was either plus 400 or 425. The first penalty in the game was offsides by Tampa. And if you remember the play, Mahomes just threw it towards the end zone, and it looked like the guy was going to catch it for a touchdown. And the Tampa guy just got back. So I took a win and a loss there, but getting plus 450, I made some good coin on that one, even with the loss on the other one. Then it went downhill from there. I had the second half being the highest scoring half. That didn't happen. Interestingly enough, I got that at minus 112. So for those of you that don't know what that means, is if I wanted to win 100, I'd have to bet 112. Now, I was looking at one of my offshore books from Costa Rica, and they had that at like minus 290, which is what you would have expected to see. And that's why I played it, because I was getting really good odds. But it didn't happen. I threw a long shot in there, but it wasn't my long shot that I thought was going to win. I threw a long shot. Any quarterback to throw a forward pass after a lateral. So think of a flea flicker. Didn't happen. I was getting good odds on it. It was plus 225. Because usually there's a trick play or two in the Super Bowl. There wasn't one in this game. My best bet was total penalties under 10.5. Yeah, right. I think there was 13. It was total accepted penalties. I believe there was 13. Most of them on Kansas City on their defense, and I thought all those calls were legit. And my long shot, which I was getting plus 220, and I thought this was actually a very easy play, and it turned out that I lost. And I could have gotten it on back-to-back plays, if you think back. That was, there would be more than 1.5 coaches' challenges during the game. Now, it didn't say successful coaches' challenges. It's just coaches' challenges. Now, if you remember, Tampa Bay got stopped on 4th down early in the second quarter, and it was challenged by Bruce Arians, their coach. The play before There was a fumble, if you remember, and the player was ruled down, if I remember correctly, which kind of surprised me that Andy Reid didn't challenge that. So I could have won it on back-to-back plays.
Towards the end of the game, when there was about 2 minutes to go, there was one that would have been challenged if the game was closer.
Yes, as long as it was outside of 2 minutes. Inside of 2 minutes, coaches can't challenge. It's automatic from the booth.
Like an interception or something.
Let me just say it's automatic from the booth.
They called it down, but it looked like it was an interception from the...
Automatic from the booth.
Yeah.
You're not seeing... There you go. You picked up on that.
Yeah, screw you. Hate VAR.
So... And then I made a couple live bets too, which didn't go very well, because I expected Kansas City to get back in the game, and they never did. So I lost money, which for some reason I never do good on prop plays. They seem so easy, and I never do good on them. Be that as it may, I did not put any money on Tampa Bay to win the game outright at Barstool. My offshore book, I had $75 on free plays that I had to use for the Super Bowl. I had to make two, one for $25 and one for $50, and I hit them both. The $50 I had Tampa Bay to win straight up, and the other one was I forget, but it was an easy bet. That was at about break even. It was Mahomes rushing yards at 23.5, and he had 33. So didn't happen like it did last year when he lost 14 yards on the kneel downs to screw me over
by a yard.
All right, so we'll wrap it up here. Like I said, I wanted to go about 45 minutes tonight. There is no show tomorrow. We were only doing one show this week. That's because I'm a big Daytona fan, and last night was the Clash. Tomorrow is the Twin 120 races, and I like to watch that stuff. So I missed the first 45 minutes of qualifying tonight, but oh well. And I don't tape sports. I can't go back and rewatch sports after they happen. I just can't, for some reason. So, the most important thing we learned tonight is if I actually do run for president, you get free beer if I win.
I'll vote for you.
And not the cheap shit. Not the Coors Light shit. I mean, if you want Coors Light, fine, but why would you want piss water when you could have something a lot better for free? That's all I'm going to say. PA Phatts, running for president. I got to find a good vice president. You can't be vice president. You're not old enough. Sorry.
That's Donald Trump.
Sorry, you can't be vice president. So, until Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, let's remember, very important, as I set it up on the screen, where we go one,
we go all.
Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. See ya Tuesday.